fifth graders, it's May 4th, and if you're a Star Wars fan, then may the 4th be with you, or may the force be with you. So, we are learning idioms related to personality traits or people. So yesterday we learned go against the grain, which means that someone does not do something usually because it would be unusual. So it means, or if somebody does go against the grain, that means they do something opposite of what is generally practiced or accepted. Now, today we have black sheep. Black sheep. Literally, this is a black sheep. And as you may think about this, generally sheep are white in color. So a black sheep would stand out and would be a bit unusual. So if someone is the black sheep, this is a person who has done something bad that brings embarrassment or shame to his or her family. So if you call someone the black sheep of the family, they're the person who, not maybe somebody doesn't like, they have brought some type of embarrassment or shame to the family, they've done bad things. So, generally people kind of say, that most families have one person who's the black sheep. So here's a sentence. My uncle is the black sheep of the family because he lied many times and now nobody trusts him. Okay, so this is an example of an idiom that describes a person. Now we're working on the suffix ik, which means like or related to. If someone is artistic, or if something is artistic, it's relating to art or culture. It means somebody is good at painting, drawing, or producing beautiful things. Today we have the word classic. Classic. One example here. Young adults make the classic mistake of spending more money than they have. What does this mean? It means having all the features that are typical or expected of a particular thing or situation. So we often say this word classic for a classic mistake, a classic example. So it's like typical. It's something that generally is expected. So like a classic example of behavior that's poor in class is a student shouts out. That's a classic example of breaking a rule, right? So typical, something that's typical. Now, second definition, here's a sentence. My dad has a classic car that is restored and only drives on Sundays. It is old and beautiful. So in this case, if something is classic, it means it's admired by many people and having value that has continued for a long time. So it's something kind of valued. It's something that generally might be considered old and is still great. So like a classic car, maybe somebody has, there are novels that are classics because they're old, but they're still read and valued. I think, for example, Harry Potter will be a classic series. It's been over 20 years since it was first written, and it's still great and valued, and it'll probably still be very popular in, another 20 years, 40 years, 60 years. So, classic. We are working on the Greek root ject, which means throw, to throw. We learned subject as a noun, the thing that you're talking about or considering in a conversation or discussion, or the subject of in school. Or to subject as a verb means to force a country or group of people to be ruled by you and to control them, to subject someone to doing something. Today we have reject, reject. Couple of definitions here. To refuse to accept, believe in, or agree with something, or to not choose someone for a job, course of study, etc. So here's a visualization of it. If somebody's rejected, generally to be rejected is sometimes it produces emotions of sadness or disappointment, maybe anger. Here's an example. Number one, Dexter rejected the idea completely. Number 2, my dad's job application was rejected, so he is still searching for employment. Other examples could be maybe someone's rejected for a team and they don't get to be part of the team. Maybe someone tries out for a performance in dance and they're rejected, and so they have to move on to something new. So these are some examples of eject, reject, eject meaning to throw. And as always, we're going to continue reviewing synonyms, words that have similar meanings, antonyms, words that have opposite meanings, and hyperboles, which you know are exaggeration. So we'll continue to review those this week, 5th graders. Awesome job. May the force be with you, or may the 4th be with you.